Hey everyone, and welcome back to the vlog. It's been pretty hectic over the past few weeks with everything going on with the coronavirus. Because of that, a lot of people are now having to work from home. So I'd like to share 4 tips on how to succeed at working from home. Now overall, one of the toughest things to do when you're working from home is to stay disciplined. For a lot of people, a lot of times when they come home, they flip on the TV or they watch YouTube, they go on the internet, and it's gonna be very difficult to break that habit. So here are 4 tips that you can do every day to help you be more productive and ultimately succeed at working from home. The first tip I have for you is to do something mentally stimulating right in the beginning of the day. The reason why is it's so important to get early momentum to carry you and propel you through the morning. Now for some people that might be getting up and making a cup of coffee. That doesn't really work for me because I've been coffee free for about 2.5 weeks now. But what I like to do is I get out of bed, but I have a notebook with a written personal statement telling me exactly what I want to accomplish by the end of 2020. And I read that out loud, looking at myself in the eye as much as possible. And by the time I get to the end of that statement, I'm super energized, I'm hyped up, and I'm ready to go to work. Now, if you're not into that, I totally understand. It's not for everyone. Something else that you could do is find a couple people, maybe 2 or 3 people that are doing the exact same thing that you're doing. They're getting up at the same time, they have a similar job, maybe they work with you, and then create an accountability system with each other. Call each other in the morning and do something mentally stimulating, such as sharing 3 things that you're grateful for. What you'll notice is by the time you get to the 3rd thing, you're already awake and you're ready to take on the day. The next tip is establishing a working area that is separate from your bed. Whether it's a separate room like this is, and this desk which is very far away from my bed. Working on your bed can actually lead to you slouching and sinking more and more and more into your bed until you eventually you're kind of like this, you have bad posture, and then you get tired very, very easily, I would know. So building the habit can be kind of difficult. The best thing to do is to find a way to create a physical barrier between your bed and your workspace. You want your workspace to be entirely about work. You don't go on Instagram, you don't go on Facebook, you don't go on YouTube. It's only work. Now, it doesn't mean you can't go on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, etc. You can, but if you do, get up and walk away from your workspace. You have to treat it as if it's only meant for work. What you'll notice is it's a lot harder to fall into the trap of watching mindlessly or scrolling mindlessly for hours upon hours. What happens is you start to notice that you're not getting work done because you're not at your desk. Throughout the day, as it compounds, puts this self-inflicted pressure on yourself to get back to work. Then you're more likely to get back to it faster with more intent. I don't know why this is so orange. The 3rd tip is to master your calendar. Since no one else is around to remind you of anything, using your calendar is huge. Helson gave me some great advice about a month and a half ago about how to use my calendar, and since then it's worked tremendously. Anytime you have a meeting, just immediately putting it into your calendar as well as sending an invite to those people involved. What I noticed is when I didn't do that, I would forget about what I had coming up, I'd get very lost in my own work, and since there's no definitive start or end to the workday because you're not leaving the house, this helps to stay on track throughout the day. The final piece of advice I have, when you're about to go to bed or when you're ready to end the workday, the best thing is to set yourself up for success in the morning by setting up as much as possible at night. What I mean by that is whatever files you know you're gonna work on first or whatever project you're gonna work on first, having everything up and loaded and on your screen so that when you wake up in the morning, you just walk straight out, and the moment you get to your computer and it's on, you're good to go. There's nothing you have to boot up, there's nothing you have to open, everything's ready to go. The key thing is in the morning, especially when you're tired, you don't really want to make any decisions other than going back to bed. If there's too many small decisions you have to make, it's just way easier to just push it to later and just go back to bed. By eliminating all of those small decisions, you make it much easier to just get up and go to work. I will probably open up Final Cut, I'll load up all the footage that I need, I'll open the timeline, I'll drag and drop all the footage into the timeline, but I won't watch any of it. Instead, I'll leave it for the morning or whenever I start on that project. This process varies for everyone. Everyone's workflow is slightly different, but I highly recommend prepping at night so that in the morning, you just don't have any decisions. You just immediately have the ability to just go straight to work and get going. So those are my 4 tips for you today. I hope you enjoyed them and I hope you put them to good use. If you give them a shot and you feel like they're working, please let me know in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up, and if you would please help me on my journey to 1,000 subscribers, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next video.